Welcome to Finding Stuff Out. If you're wondering why I'm in the dark, I'm conducting a scientific test inspired by an interesting question I received.
Do carrots really help you see in the dark?
Of course they do. Have you ever seen a rabbit wearing glasses? Nah. Seriously though, I don't know. But by the end of the show, I will eat all of these carrots, then I'll be able to see in the dark and answer this other question.
How come so many people are afraid of the dark?
Sometimes I have to admit, I'm a little scared of the dark myself. What about you?
Ask a friend.
When I'm in the dark, I think there are zombies, ghosts, creepy things.
There might be monsters. I feel very uncomfortable.
There might be ghosts that could invade your body.
Sometimes I just feel like someone's watching me in the dark. You think the scary movies are gonna come true?
There's nothing that scares me. First, guys, I suggest we get to know our enemy a little better.
What is darkness?
Well, Abdul, I checked, and darkness is an absence of light, like this. See, I'm in total darkness because there's no light.
Light is a form of energy that we can see. When light bounces off of things, that's how we can see them. So darkness is just when there's no light.
Here's a question from Amber.
Why is it daytime here and nighttime somewhere else?
Earth, the planet we live on, is lit up by the sun. The Earth is constantly spinning, so when one part of the Earth is lit up by the sun, that's what we call daytime. And the part that's facing away from the sun is what we call nighttime. But remember, the Earth is constantly spinning. So wherever you are and it's daytime, 12 hours later, it will be nighttime for you.
What is a solar eclipse?
Flat Earth Corner!
What is a solar eclipse? It's when the sun disappears from the sky during the daytime and the world is plunged into terrifying darkness. And if you're a Viking warrior like me, living more than 1,000 years ago, you know exactly what causes eclipses. Eclipses are caused by a warg. That's a kind of wolf with superpowers, eating the sun. They're huge! And apparently, they like very, very hot food. Oh boy, that warg wolf is out again, eating the sun. I hope it won't be dark forever now.
That's a relief. The sun is back.
I guess that giant wolf didn't really like the taste of that sun so much.
Eclipses aren't really caused by giant wolves. They're caused by the moon.
I found out that the moon circles Earth all the time, and once in a while, the moon comes between the Earth and the sun. Hello? Trying to have some daytime here? You're blocking my light. Oh.
I'm going as fast as I can.
When it does, it blocks the sun's light for a few minutes, causing an eclipse. Ah, that's better.
Does darkness affect plants to grow?
That's a good question, Sasha. But I don't think this carrot will give me an answer. It's not very talkative. And I checked.
All plants need light to live and grow. Some can survive with just a little, but none of them can grow in the dark. Mushrooms can, but they're not a plant. They're something called fungi. They don't need light like plants do, and they get their food from rotting stuff.
Of course, plants aren't the only thing that are affected by darkness. Animals are affected by darkness too. Here's another question from Alessandra.
Are owls and bats afraid of the light? I think I know someone who can answer that. She knows about owls who fly around at night. They don't crash into stuff because they have amazing sight. Here's Jennifer's here to find. I see you brought a friend.
I have. This is Dweep, our grandpapa great horned owl. He's actually 30 years old.
Wow, I'm glad I know your name. So now I don't have to wonder who you are. What kind of owl is Dweep?
This is actually a great horned owl. as you can see by these awesome horns he has on his head. They're not really horns, they're actually just tufts of feathers that stick out from his head, but from far they kind of look like horns.
So, to answer your question, Alessandra, Jennifer says that we don't know if they're afraid, but bats really don't like light. Oh! She says owls like Sweep don't mind daylight. But when darkness comes, these great night hunters, woohoo, rule the sky. How is it possible for owls to hunt at night?
Oh, well, owls are really special. They have these special eyes that help them to see better in low light conditions. Now, if you look at his eyes, you'll see compared to his head, his eyes are huge. If we made his skull as big as a human skull, for example, we'd have to have eyes the size of grapefruit. I'd look quite pretty with eyes the size of grapefruits, right? Now, being that those eyes are so big, those pupils, the little black circles that you see in the middle of their eyes, those are also can become really big. The bigger the pupils, the more light comes into their eye. And that means they can see better. Now, their eyes are so big, though, that they can't really move them. So you see what I'm doing with my eyes? These guys can't do that. Their eyes stay fixed.
Yeah.
So because they can't move them, they've adapted other ways of being able to see all around them. So I'm gonna ask you to help me demonstrate. I'm gonna ask you to stay straight. Don't move your body at all. Just turn your head as far as you can turn it. So how far are you going?
A little past my shoulder.
So we'll say it's about 90 degrees from the front axis all the way to the shoulder, right? An owl can do 3 times as much.
Wow.
So they can turn to the shoulder, to the back, and even to the next shoulder without moving their bodies. Cool. And they can do that on each side. Pretty neat, eh?
Cool. What else helps owls fly in the night?
Good question. Well, actually, they're really, really stealthy. They actually have what's called silent flight, or I should say, silent flight. Because what happens is when they flap their wings, you don't hear anything. So I'm going to demonstrate for you.
Okay.
I have 2 feathers here. I have a small one, that's for the owl, and I have this larger one, that's an eagle feather. Did you hear that one? Now for the owl feather. So you can see there's quite a difference, right?
Yeah.
Why would it need to be so quiet, an owl? What would it need that for?
So the prey couldn't hear them and he could catch them.
Bingo, exactly. To be able to surprise that little mouse. It's also in order to be able to
Listen.
hear the little mouse. That was a little yawn.
What else helps owls catch their dinner in the dark?
Oh, well, to show you that, I'm going to bring out a different owl.
Okay.
So let me introduce you to Novio.
That's so cool. He moves his head around. It's like he's dancing. Why does he do that?
Actually, this is a barn owl. And barn owls, if you look at the faces, their face is shaped in the shape of a heart or a circle, if you will.
Yeah.
And that's what's called a facial disc on an owl. All owls have them. Now, barn owls, their facial disc helps bring the sound to their ears, which are hidden beneath the feathers on each side of their head. So with that facial disc, he's able to hear things more clearly. So he can hear all sorts of sounds. And the reason why he's dancing is he's kind of trying to make that facial disc a little bit bigger. Well, the more he moves his head, the more he's able to hear sounds. These guys have such amazing hearing that they can hear little mice 30 centimeters under the snow.
Wow. That's so cool. Thanks, Jennifer, for being on my show.
Thank you for having us.
Well, owls finding their way in the dark gives me an idea for...
My Great Challenge!
I'm the addict with my 2 challenges. Ruby?
Hi.
You're going to be Team Dweep. Sasha?
Hey.
You're going to be Team Novio. You're gonna have to use sound to hunt like an owl, but I'm not going to turn the lights off because that wouldn't be very interesting for the people who are watching, will it?
No.
So you guys are going to be blindfolded, and you can only use your sense of hearing to catch your prey, like this one. So are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Then put your blindfolds on and start hunting in the dark. Oh, Novio got the first one. Let me put it in your basket.
She's got the second one. Okay, let me put it in your basket. The next one is a little sneaky. Got it. I got it. Okay, you guys both get a point. It's a tie. Got it. Nice job. Okay, this is the last one now. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Got it. Shweep, you have 3. And Novio, you also have 3. Which means you guys both win. Yeah! Was it weird hunting for your dinner in the dark?
Yeah,
Why?
'cause I like seeing my food.
And was it difficult for you, Shweep?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it was hard walking, you could probably trip.
Yeah. Uh-oh, do try this at home. Emerald and Linnea have an experiment to get an idea of how an owl's hearing works. Let's pretend a little mouse is scurrying around the house. Just listen. Next, cup your ears with your hands.
Do you hear better?
I hear better. Now, make a simple cone.
When did you hear the mouse better?
Well, with my ears, I heard it a little. With my hands, I heard it a little bit more. And with the cone, I heard it very well. I found out from Jennifer that the barn owl's face works sort of like cones, funneling sound to its ears. Now, here's David and Adeline with another owl experiment. Owls' eyes are amazing in the dark. One reason ours aren't as good is because our pupils are smaller compared to the size of our face. With the lights on, your pupils are about this size. But turn off the lights, and your pupils get bigger to let more light in to help you see. After staring at a bright light, let's see how long it takes Adeline's eyes to adjust to darkness and see what's on the black cloth. Go!
I can't see it at all. Look. See? Do you see anything?
No, not yet. If Adeline had owl eyes, she'd see in the dark much better and much faster.
That's so easy.
Maybe it's something with wings. I think it's a bat. Well, you were right. Boom! Bats are night animals, so they've developed ways to fly and hunt in the dark.
But how do they do it? Here's Batgirl Corey Lawson. Hi, Corey.
Hi, Zoe.
So, can we start looking for bats?
That sounds like a great idea.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
How did you get the name Batgirl?
Well, when I was young, about your age actually, we had a bat in our house, and it was clear that my parents were really scared of it. And I thought, how can adults be scared of something so tiny? So then I went to university. I ended up learning a lot about bats, and well, I've been studying them ever since. They're fascinating.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, what's gonna happen tonight?
Oh, well, the bats are sleeping now during the day. They're hiding under the bark of the trees, and some of them are in buildings. And then as it gets dark, they're going to peek their head out, look around, make sure the coast is clear, and then they're going to dart out and go look for some food and water.
Wow. To answer the question, are bats afraid of light?
Well, I don't know if they're afraid of the light, but we do know that if they go out during the day and try to fly around, the crows or hawks or other predators will try to eat them. So it's a good thing that they do just fly at night.
Besides the things that want to eat them, are there any other reasons that bats come out at night and not in the light?
Yeah, there are a lot of insects that come out at night, like mosquitoes and moths, right? And so there's a lot of food for bats, so it's a good time for a bat to be eating is at night. If they tried to eat the insects during the day, they would be competing with other wildlife, like birds, for example, swallows. So at night, they've got the skies to themselves.
Once nighttime sets in, bats get busy. This lake is a great spot for Corey to use her special equipment.
These are bat detectors. And so what they do is they turn the ultrasound that bats are producing into something that we can hear, and they show you on the screen what the bat calls look like.
Cool. But what exactly is ultrasound?
It's sound that's too high in pitch for us to hear. So the bat detectors will lower the sound so that we can actually hear it. Now that's called echolocation. When bats go out and produce ultrasound, they will listen for the echoes of the sound to come back. And that way they won't run into trees and they'll find the bugs to eat them.
Cool.
So we just point the detectors out over the water, and the bats are gonna come in and they're gonna get a drink, just like that. See, that's a bat, and we can see the ultrasound calls that it's producing. That's its echolocation. It can find the water and some bugs to eat.
That's awesome.
Oh, look, it's Felix, my research colleague. And he has a bat that needs to be released. When he releases it, we'll be able to record its ultrasound.
Cool. Hey, Bat, I see your ultrasound. Have a nice meal.
Well, thanks for being on my show and helping me find out about why bats love the dark.
You're welcome.
Now, here's a question from Alexa.
Are there any animals who live in total darkness?
Total darkness? Like complete absence of light? Head getting warm? How could an animal function in total darkness? How would it know left from right and day from night? Synapse is getting out of control! Reaching overload! You're gonna make my head explode!
Oh,
Yeah, I'm definitely not a creature who could live in the dark.
But amazingly, they do exist. Creatures like worms burrow in the ground and have no eyes. Moles do have eyes, but they're super small and can only detect dark, light, and movement. Moles spend all of their life underground. An insect called a springtail has no eyes. It lives in caves nearly 2,000 meters deep. That's like about 4 CN towers. And these cavefish live in total darkness and have no eyes at all.
well, I found out a lot of stuff about the dark. And now it's time to answer the question that inspired my dark quest.
Do carrots really help you see in the dark?
Well, Maxime, the big answer is... they don't! I checked and I found out that although carrots are good for you, they don't actually help you see in the dark. It was just a rumor made up by the British government during World War II to explain why they were able to catch their enemies' airplanes at night.
They said that because they didn't want the enemy to know that they had made a huge invention, the airborne radar. It works sort of like the way bats find their prey, sending out signals that bounce back and tells a radar operator where the enemy plane is.
Hey, that's my idea! The carrots didn't help me see at night, so it didn't help me answer this question from Leonie.
How come so many people are afraid of the dark?
Well, Leonie, I checked and I wrote this song to explain it.
Fear of the dark is an instinct from a very long time ago, when hyenas and tigers prowled in the gloom and leopards and lions roamed. Our ancestors were afraid of the night, 'cause they couldn't see what was watching them and getting ready to bite. But now we live in houses, there are no lions here, so we can sleep in the dark, there's nothing to fear here. There are no lions here, there's no lions to fear here.
So our fear of the dark is an instinct from a very long time ago. But since then, people have invented lots of ways to live and work in the dark. Inventions like radar, electric lights, and night vision goggles make it possible for us to go about our day-to-day lives in ways that our primitive ancestors could never have imagined. So, just like our instincts tell us not to jump off a cliff or put our fingers through a flame, we still have instincts that tell us to be afraid of the dark. But I know it's just an instinct, so I'm not scared of going to sleep in the dark. Thanks for watching my show, and see you again next time for more Finding Stuff Out.
Something bit me in the dark. It's a predator. Maybe a tiger or a carrot? Hello, and welcome to Finding Stuff Out. You'll have to watch and listen closely today. Your eyes may fool you. Your ears may trick you. Your mind itself may deceive you. Because today's episode is all about fooling the brain. I got the idea of a mind-boggling, mysterious episode from a question I received from Alessia. Wait, where's my remote? Oh. Got it.
How do illusions occur?
Well, Alessia, I don't know. But by the end of the show, I'll find out why illusions occur and why they fool our senses. Ow, my toe's itchy. Mom, can you come here a minute? I don't think she heard me. I hate it when this happens.
Yeah, that's better.
An illusion is something that can fool your senses. It can be visual like a magic trick. Fooled ya! It can also trick your other senses, like your sense of touch and hearing. In a few minutes, we're going to meet a professional magician who's going to show us a few illusions. But first, Victor asked me about animal illusions.
How do animals use camouflage?
I found out that lots of animals create illusions using camouflage. It's a way of hiding by blending in with your surroundings. Animals do it to avoid being eaten or to sneak up on their prey.
Animal magicians, they can fool your eye, changing shape or color like those sneaky octopi. Some use camouflage so that they look like other things. Some have scary eyeballs that aren't real on their wings. Some camouflage to hide from creatures they don't want to meet. But some use it to sneak up on the ones they like to eat. So when you see magicians pulling rabbits from their hats, remember bunnies have their tricks and two can play at that.
Some animals use illusions to trick other animals, besides camouflage. You might wonder why zebras are black and white, since where they live is green, brown, and beige. Well, I found out that lions, which love to eat them, are colorblind.
That means lions can only see black, white, and gray.
They can see the zebras, but the stripes confuse them. When zebras all run together in a herd, the lions see this. They can't figure out the zebra's size, shape, speed, and direction. That makes it really hard for the lion to catch one single zebra. And about 100 years ago, people copied this idea on ships called dazzle ships. Their stripy paint job confused submarine captains trying to aim torpedoes at them. Because, just like zebras, the dazzle ship's stripes made it hard to tell its speed and direction.
Now here's a question about another kind of illusion.
Is it true that thirsty people in the desert see water that isn't there?
I found out it's true. In the desert, sometimes you see water when there's none. It's called a mirage.
Water! Huh?
A mirage is an optical illusion. In the desert, when it's hot, the air near the ground gets heated up. When light travels from the cold air above into the warm air, it gets bent. We're used to seeing air traveling in a straight line, So when we see the light get bent, it looks like a pool of water. Of course,
Sometimes things that look like they are there really are there.
But if your brain has been tricked before, it might just think you're being tricked again.
even when you're not, sometimes there really is water in the desert. It's called an oasis.
Now here's a question from Jenna. Why do optical illusions trick your brain? To answer your question, I've come here to the workshop of professional magician and master of illusions, Professor Wick. Come on. Professor Wick.
Hi, Zoe. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Well, actually, you know what? I'm feeling a little bit lightheaded.
I'm not surprised. You look a little lightheaded. In fact, I don't know how to break it to him. Professor Wick, you don't have a body.
Well, you know what? It's all an illusion. A grand illusion created by a reflection.
How do illusions trick your brain?
Tell you what, I'm gonna just get my head back in order here, and I'll show you how illusions trick the brain.
So it looks like the lights go on forever, but I'm pretty sure your workshop doesn't go on forever behind this wall. Or does it?
Nope, it doesn't. If you look very carefully on the side, you'll see how thin it actually is.
Wow.
You see? And yet it looks like it goes on and on. But now watch what happens. I'm going to take it off.
Whoa.
And there it is.
Oh, yeah.
You see? One set of lights, a mirror, right there. And this is actually a mirror as well. And as soon as you put it on there, look what happens. When two mirrors are facing each other, the image is repeated over and over and over again. Okay, check this out. Who's that photograph of?
Yeah, it's me.
It's you. Now check out what happens when I turn it right side up.
Oh my goodness, that's so weird.
What happened?
Pretty weird, right? We took a picture of you, and then we took your eyes and your mouth and turned them upside down. When the entire picture is turned upside down like that, your brain doesn't register the fact that your eyes and mouth are upside down. It looks perfectly normal. Here we have a whole bunch of words. They're all different colors.
Yeah.
What I want you to do is, as quickly as you can, from here all the way across, I want you to say the color of the word. Don't read the word.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Green, red, black, blue, pink, red, black, red, yellow, yellow, green, blue, blue, orange, red, green, pink, yellow.
Way better than I could ever do it.
I mean, it was hard because you already know the word, and it's like, oh, I gotta put the other word first.
Or the color.
Yeah, the color.
Yeah. Your brain can process a word much faster than it can process a color. So while you're struggling to say the color, your brain has already got the word, and it wants to say it. So now, Zoe, I have one more special illusion for you.
Professor Wick?
I'll show you later.
Oh, well, that gives me an idea for
My Great Challenge!
Hi, guys. Welcome to my show, Caden and David. Are you ready to fool people?
Yeah. Caden and David are learning to be magicians.
And they practice a few tricks for this challenge. To judge you guys, I've invited Swapna.
Hi, Zoe. Hey, guys. Nice to meet you. You know what? I forgot my notes. Let me go grab them.
Okay.
I'm back.
Whoa. Whoa.
Where were you?
Is this an illusion?
Is there a... Oh, yeah, there's a...
This is my twin sister, Sandhya.
Hi, Zoe. Hi, guys.
Hi.
We study the same thing. We study brain injuries and how the brain works.
And we do a little bit of magic on the side.
Cool. I guess there's gonna be two judges then. Please welcome Magician David.
Oh, yeah! You see 3 dice. 9, I put one in my hand, the second one in my hand, the third one in my pocket.
How many do I have left? 2? You're wrong. Let's do it again. One in my hand, second one in my hand, the third one in my pocket. How many do I have left?
3?
Okay, now I'm gonna put one in my hand, only one, okay? And the 2 other ones in my pocket. How many do I have left?
1.
You're right.
Wait, why is it red?
Magic.
Please welcome magician Caden.
So I have a shoelace that I tied together, and I have my finger ring. So I'm just gonna take that up, and I'm just gonna hold it in a loop.
What? How did you do that?
I can't tell you, but I can show you another trick.
Sure.
I have a normal pack of cards. So just try shuffling the deck. Ready? Okay. We're gonna take the deck and put it there. Okay, just cut wherever you want. You got it? Now take the card, right there, and look at it. Don't show me what it is. So just put your card down on the pack, like this. Don't show me what it is. Okay, there you go. Now I'm gonna go through the whole deck. Put your hand out like this. Now I can sense the warmth from your hand and find out that your card is the 4 of clubs.
Okay, judges, what did you think about the performers?
Both magicians did an incredible job. It was really hard to choose.
David, we really liked how you changed the color of the dice. It was really cool.
And Caden, both of your tricks with the lace trick and the card trick were so well done. We really didn't know how you did it.
But in the end, by a very slight margin, we think Caden has won.
Congratulations, Caden.
Thank you.
What was the most challenging thing about performing your illusion?
The challenging trick I found was the ring and the lace. It's a trick that nobody else has performed, and I was really kind of scared that it would go wrong.
David, what about you?
It was when I had to change the color of the dice. I was scared that you would see how I did it.
Well, thanks for being on my show and helping me find stuff out about how illusions trick your eyes. But not every illusion's about tricking your eyes, as you'll see in this question from Stefano.
What is a placebo?
The Flat Earth Corner!
Gather round, folks. Do you suffer from frostbite, sore throat, toothache, bruises, and swelling? Then step right up and buy a bottle of Clark Stanley snake oil liniment, made only with the venom of the biggest, meanest, rattliest rattlesnakes. My liniment will cure anything. Who wants to be the first to buy it? You, sir? What about you, ma'am? Clark Stanley snake oil.
More than 100 years ago, Clark Stanley sold thousands of bottles of his so-called snake oil.
I found out that eventually snake oil was tested, and guess what? There was no medicine in it at all, and not even snake venom. It was all a trick, but people bought it and thought it cured them.
That's an illusion known as a placebo effect.
It's when you think you feel better, even though you didn't really take real medicine. New medicines need to be tested to see if they work. Half the people in the tests are given the new medicine. The other half are given the placebo, which doesn't have any drugs at all. Surprisingly, a lot of the time, the people taking the placebo think it makes them feel better.
Placebos aren't the only type of illusions that trick your senses other than your eyes. Sanjay and Swap now have a few tricks up their sleeves.
So the first one we're going to do is called the McGurk effect.
So this illusion shows us that we can't always trust our ears. So, okay, can you tell me what you hear when my sister says this?
Bar, 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 bar. What did you hear?
Bar.
Now this time, just watch me while my sister talks.
Bar, 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 bar.
What'd you hear this time?
I heard far.
Ah, that's not quite right. You heard bar.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you saw her mouth form the word far, and that tricked your brain into thinking that you were hearing that word too. Bar, bar, bar.
What you see can change what you hear.
Cool.
So our next illusion relies on 2 of your senses, taste and your sense of smell.
Okay, so we're gonna need you to close your eyes. Pinch your nose shut so you're only breathing through your mouth. I'm gonna give you a jelly bean. Tell us what you think the flavor is.
Is it lemon?
Not exactly. Okay, now I want you to just let go of your nose and keep chewing. What do you think it is now?
Is it orange?
Yeah, you're right. So what happened was when your nose was blocked, you were only relying on your taste receptors, which alone aren't necessarily enough.
I guess you tricked me again.
Now, this is something called the rubber hand illusion.
So what we have here is a rubber hand right in front of you, Zoe.
And we've put your actual hand on this side of the screen so you can't see it.
So we want you to focus on the rubber hand, okay?
Okay, so now what we're gonna do is try and connect what you feel with your actual hand, which you can't see, with the rubber hand, which you can see, so you start to feel like it's your own.
So how are you feeling?
Okay. Ow!
How do you feel now?
Weird. It's like I felt it.
So with the rubber hand, we were able to affect your sense of where your body and body parts are. So normally with your hand, you're able to sense where it is using your sense of sight and your sense of touch. But with the rubber hand, we messed with how you're able to combine those senses and had you connect with the rubber hand.
Your sense of sight is a powerful sense.
So for this next illusion, I'm going to be a guinea pig, and everybody else at home can join in and be guinea pigs too.
Stand right up against this wall here. Take the back of your hand, push against the wall as though you're trying to push it away. And keep doing that for about 30 seconds.
Okay, time's up. You can step away from the wall and you'll find that your arm starts to rise.
Look, your arm's floating.
What? How is that happening?
So what's happening is after a long period of voluntary pushing, we see involuntary movement. Hypnotists have used this to try and make their subjects believe they're being controlled.
I asked my friends if any of their senses tricked them, and here's what they said.
Ask a friend.
I was sleeping, and when I woke up, I saw something popping out of the window. And I think it was a zombie or something creepy, so I went to my mom's and dad's room to get a hug, and I came back and it wasn't there. So my brain really tricked me.
I saw a flying cat with a taco on his head.
What?
It's true.
I was going into my room, and I thought I saw my sister laying on my bed, and then I blinked, and then she wasn't there anymore. I felt like it was magic.
So far, we've seen, heard, and felt a lot of illusions. But some are part of our everyday life, and we don't even know it. Like right now, looking at me. What a concept.
I'm just an illusion?
Head getting warm.
How can I be an illusion?
Hang on!
You're gonna make my head explode!
You think you're looking at me in one continuous action, right? But guess what? This is a movie film.
Film and video are actually just a bunch of still pictures. By showing them one after the other really fast, you create the illusion of motion.
Want to try it yourself? Then it's time for...
Uh-oh, do try this at home. Emma and Marco are creating their own movies by making flip books.
I'm drawing the man that walked a tightrope between the two towers of the World Trade Center back in 1974.
Oh, that's cool.
What are you drawing?
I'm drawing someone that's blowing up a balloon and then it explodes in their face.
That's funny.
The way it works is you do a simple drawing on one page and do a slightly different drawing on the next page, and do a whole bunch of pages like that. Flip books work because of the same optical illusion as film or TV. It's like making a very simple movie or video. Try it out.
Want to know how I know how to move my man?
Oh,
I press on the picture and look where his last foot was, and then I move his first foot to where his last foot was, and then it looks like he's moving.
That's a good trick. All I do is really look through the paper to see where it lastly exploded or how it blew up. And then I just make it a bit
Smaller?
down. Yeah.
those sound like good ways to do it. Let's see how they turn out. Wow! The little man really looks like he's walking along the tightrope.
Do you want to see mine?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Bye, Zoe.
Bye! I made one too. And now it's time to answer the question that started off our mysterious quest.
How do illusions occur? Well, Alessia, the big answer is
Our brain.
our brains can be fooled by the way they're used to seeing the world.
Like when your brain expects light to travel in a straight line, and when it doesn't,
Water!
it makes you think you see water in the desert. When other things don't look the way your brain expects them to, you can see a head with no body,
Hello, Zoe. How are you?
or think an animal is a leaf on a branch, or think that you're hearing
Bar, bar, bar.
I heard far.
You heard bar.
or tasting something different than what's really there.
Is it lemon? Or that you're watching someone moving on television, when really, you're just watching a series of still images that your brain thinks are moving images. It can even make us think that we are seeing someone floating in the air. See you next time for more Finding Stuff Out.
Animal magicians, they can fool your eye, changing shape or color like those sneaky octopi. Some camouflage to hide from creatures they don't want to meet, but some use it to sneak up on the ones they like to eat. So when you see magicians pulling rabbits from their hats, remember bunnies have their tricks and two can play at that.
There's a crazy thunderstorm outside right now. And there goes the power. Which is totally okay because I'm not afraid of the dark, like, at all. I wish I could light up like these glowing stars. I could be my own nightlight, and then the darkness wouldn't get me. That is if I were afraid of the dark, which I'm definitely not. Hey, speaking of being my own nightlight, here's a great question I got from Aiden.
If fireflies glow in the dark, why can't we?
Yeah, why can't we glow like a firefly? I've never actually tried to glow. Maybe I just have to concentrate. Nothing's glowing. Why can't we make our own light like fireflies? Or like comets? Or lightning? I don't even know how we make electric lights. But maybe your questions about things that light up will help me find an answer by the end of the show. A good place to start is to find out more about creatures that know how to glow. Here's another question about fireflies. This one's from Sean.
Why do fireflies' butts glow?
I checked, and I found out that fireflies' butts light up for one main reason: romance.
I found out that fireflies have two special chemicals in their bodies, and when they mix together, they create light, kind of like a glow stick.
They can control these chemicals to turn their light on and off whenever they want.
Different kinds of fireflies can make yellow, green, orange, or even blue light. They actually talk to each other with patterns of flashes from their butts, like secret codes. The male fireflies flash a message to say,
Hey, I'm a certain type of firefly, and I'm going to tell you a little more about myself.
And if a female likes what she's seeing,
they'll flash back. Then the male follows her flashes and flies over to meet her.
how romantic.
What a great way to find each other in the dark. Actually, they're not just sending sappy messages. Their flashes can also warn hungry predators to stay away because they taste really bad.
We might not be able to glow, but we can use lights to communicate like fireflies do. Ooh, I bet my friends know some ways that we use lights.
Ask a friend.
A police car has a red light on top, which says get out of the way. Lighthouses shine light on the rocks, then the ships could see the rocks and then they would turn back.
Like when we're driving and we see the lights says green, red, and yellow.
If you flash lights in specific ways, like turn it off and on, I think it can be Morse code.
Holy moly, you're right. We use flashing lights to communicate all the time. Hey, wouldn't it be funny if we did all that with our butts?
You know, just like fireflies.
It's the police. Come out with your hands up. If you could make any part of you light up like a firefly's butt, what would it be?
It would be my wrist, probably my nose. Somewhere on my face, like my eyes, my nose, or my mouth.
My nails for like Halloween parties and stuff. I think I would want my head to glow so people can see my face.
Ooh, yeah. You could be a ghostly floating head in the dark. Ooh. This next question is from William. Ooh.
Do some fish glow in the dark?
Do some fish glow in the dark? Well, I checked. And on land, there aren't too many animals that can make their own light. But underwater, it's a different story.
To find out more, I swam to the darkest depths of the ocean. Not really. I'm actually in the very dark laboratory of Dr. David Morse, a biologist who specializes in glowing sea creatures. Whoa, what is that?
This is a flask of dinoflagellates.
Huh, it glows.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Zoe.
That looks like plain old water in there. How come it was glowing?
Well, it's not plain old water. It's actually full of creatures, and they're really amazing because they produce their own light.
I don't see any creatures.
Well, they are so small, you actually need a microscope to see them.
Wow. Incredible. But why do you have to stir them up to make them glow?
They're sensitive to movement, like somebody swimming in the ocean or a predator swimming after them and trying to eat them. And their response to that movement is to give off a flash of light. Either to scare away those predators or to attract predators of the predators.
They use the light to communicate to the predators of their predators?
That's right, but any movement of the water will make them give off light. There are places where the beaches glow at night with the waves, and the water lights up. It's really beautiful.
Amazing. Can I see one close up?
Sure.
Wow. All those creatures were in that water?
Yes, and they even have tails to help them swim.
They're so cute. How do they make that light?
The same way that fireflies do. They burn a molecule called luciferin, and that produces the light.
Cool. Are there any kind of fish that use light to communicate?
Lots of them. In fact, most of the fish that live in the bottom of the sea are bioluminescent.
Dr. Morris tells me that bioluminescence is the chemical reaction that makes some creatures produce their own light.
It's very vast and dark in the deep sea, so the creatures there use light to find and signal their mates or to lure in their prey.
Cool.
Did you know that some animals can actually scare off their predators with bursts of light? And others can hide by lighting up their bellies to perfectly match the light coming down from above, so their predators can't see their silhouettes.
Which way did he go?
Holy cow. There are so many fish and other sea creatures that can glow in amazing ways. Hey, can I keep some dinoflagellates as pets?
Sure you can. I put some in this tube for you. All you have to do is put them in the sunlight every day, and then they'll light up at night.
Cool. I'm so excited. I'm going to name them all.
I should tell you there's probably about 1 million in there.
1 million? Now I have to think of 1 million names. Okay, I'll name you Sparky, you Twinkle Toes, you Lightning, you Thunder.
This could take a while.
You Twilight. Boy, I'm going to have to think of a lot of names. Meanwhile, here's another question about glowing animals from Deborah. How come a neon fish will glow at night when you shine a bright light at them?
Well, Deborah, I checked. And some animals don't make their own light, but they're really good at reflecting it.
Neon fish have crystals in the skin underneath their scales that reflect light. Kind of like the reflector on your bike. But without light, you can't see them. And check this out. Some fish reflect light in an extra cool way by changing color. It's called biofluorescence. These fish live in the deep, dark ocean, where only blue light gets through. When that blue light hits them, it's reflected as green or red light. That's because biofluorescent fish have special colored lenses in their eyes, kind of like sunglasses. They stand out like a light bulb in the dark, and that's how they recognize their own kind.
That gives me an idea for...
My Great Challenge!
I have here with me Jeremy. I'm going to call you a squigglefish.
Yeah!
And Molly, I'm going to call you a splatfish.
Yes.
You each have different hidden patterns on your arms that you can only see with these black lights.
That's kind of like using the special eyes that some fish have for finding the hidden reflecting colors of their mates. You get to do almost the same thing in this challenge. Use your black light to find the biofluorescent fish with your pattern on it. Oh yeah, and some fish have no pattern at all. Just to trick you.
Your challenge is to find as many fish of your own kind as you can in 2 minutes and take them back to your home base right here. Are you ready?
Yeah!
Then go find your fishy matches. The one who gets the most fish wins.
Squigglefish found a pattern right away, but it's Splatfish's pattern.
I keep on finding them that don't match.
Splatfish looking for a pattern. Yes, it checks out. That's one for Splatfish, but Squigglefish has one too. And Squiggle gets another right away. That puts him in the lead, 2-1. Squiggle looking for another match and finding it. Get moving, Splatfish. So far, Squigglefish has 3, and Splatfish catching up now with 2. Splatfish gets another one, but so does Squigglefish. The deeper you go in the ocean, the bluer and darker it is. That's why biofluorescence is amazing. Animals that can make these colors and patterns light up brightly can use them to see each other in the dark, avoid predators that can't see them, and find a mate to have babies with. Only 10 seconds left!
Can't find any more.
Can Splatfish catch up? Oh no, this fish has no pattern. It's not bioluminescent. Splatfish is wasting her time.
Okay, guys, time's up. So, Molly, you have 5 points.
Yay.
And Jeremy, you have 6 points.
Yes!
So you win. And now, time for a blackout party.
This is almost as much fun as this question from Andeline.
Why does a comet have a glowing tail?
Flat Earth Corner! No. This is a terrible sign. That devil star will bring us nothing but earthquakes and plagues of sickness. The rain will turn red with blood, and animals will be born with 2 heads. Run for your lives! And while you run for your life, do it in style with these Devil Comet t-shirts and buttons. Or commemorate the end of the world with a pendant. I've got every souvenir for the comet apocalypse at low, low prices.
Pretty much every ancient culture in the world dreaded seeing a comet in the night sky.
I found out that they thought the comets were sent by gods to bring war, illness, and destruction, and every bad thing you could imagine.
Luckily, thanks to science, we know a lot more about them now. In fact, I've got some experts who are going to help answer your question, Andeline.
Please welcome astrophysicists from the McGill Space Institute, Robert and Gabrielle.
Hi, Zoe.
Hi, Zoe.
Hi. Wow, what is this?
This is dry ice.
We're going to use it in a minute to make comets.
Cool.
It's actually extremely cold.
Wow.
Okay, so here are all the ingredients we need to make our very own comet.
Like a comet cake mix.
But I certainly wouldn't want to eat these cakes.
Most comets have dirt and they have dust in them. So we're gonna use the sand here and the dirt and we're gonna mix it in the bag. And you can do the same with the dirt now.
So we mostly think of comets as dirty snowballs in space. So we already have the dirty part, but for the snowball bit, we're gonna use some water. So now we have pretty much a mud pie. Now we need to make it into a comet. We're going to use the dry ice we found earlier to freeze our comet. Then we don't want to freeze our hands. We have some mittens to put on. So I'm just going to add a few scoops of this. There we go, and one more for good measure. Okay, so you want to push that all to one side of the bag?
I can help. We can take the comet out of the bag and look at it.
Wow, it looks like an ugly snowball.
And that's exactly what comets look like when they're really far away from the sun.
So, how does it light up?
If you were to blow on the comet,
wow.
You see, it's producing a tail.
That's just like what happens when a comet gets close to the sun. It starts to melt, and it leaves behind a big, long vapor trail. The sun pushes the vapor trail away from the comet and gives us the big tail we see in the sky.
Oh, so the comet's tail always points away from the sun. But what makes it light up?
It just reflects the light of the sun.
Oh, I get it. It's the same way the moon shines.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for being on my show.
Thanks for having us.
I have another question from Andrew about lights we see in the sky.
Why is lightning so bright?
I checked, and I found out that the big flash of light is created by electricity that builds up in the clouds. It's kind of like what happens when your socks stick together when they're tumbled up in the dryer, and you try to pull them apart. They zap.
Check out this cartoon I made. Tiny pieces of ice form high up in the sky, where it's really cold. These ice crystals turn around in the wind, and they bump against water droplets and other ice crystals. As they rub and bump into each other, they build up an electrical charge. Eventually, the charge builds and builds to form a gigantic spark.
The lightning's bright flash comes from that spark.
Did you know that a bolt of lightning can give off as much light as almost 17 million light bulbs at once?
That's a lot of light bulbs!
Uh-oh, do try this at home! Emerald and Linnea are going to show you how to make your own mini lightning with just a balloon and a spoon. Here's what you do. Rub the balloon on your hair till it gets good and staticky. You'll know it's ready when your hair stands up and sticks to the balloon.
I think it's ready.
Then in the dark, bring a spoon close to the balloon.
Oh, there's a little spark.
Wow, did you see that? It's tiny lightning.
Bye, Zoe.
Nature has some cool ways to make light. What about us humans? Here's a question from Andrew.
How did people see in the dark when there was no light?
Tired of dark when day goes away? Try new fire stick. It light up your life. Invention need work.
The first thing humans used for light was fire. But it's dangerous and burns out really quickly.
But I found out that eventually we learned how to make it burn slower. We burned moss soaked in animal fat, which led to the first oil lamps. After that, we made candles out of wax. But when we figured out how to capture and control nature's electricity, everything changed.
This is a perfect time for Sophia's question.
How do you make a light bulb?
How do I make a light bulb? Ding! I asked my scientist friend, Shakib, along with Daniele and Andrea.
He knows how Thomas Edison made the first really useful light bulb back in 1879.
It's important to do this with an adult because it can get a little bit dangerous. Andrea here is going to help me. So what I need you to do is take this toilet paper roll, tape my 2 alligator clips to the side of that. And Daniele, I'm going to have you use our thin piece of filament here, which is actually a piece of picture wire, and attach it onto our alligator clips. And now I want you to cover it with this jam jar that I cleaned out earlier. The last thing we'll need is some electricity to send through the filament so that it glows. I have a battery pack here. I'm going to connect. What do you guys see?
Fire, light and burning.
Yes, we made a light bulb.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Uh-oh.
Wow, did you guys see that?
Yes, it just burned.
The filament's completely gone, but we do have a way to make the filament last longer. What's in the jar, you guys?
Air.
Very good. So if we remove the air from the jar, we can actually make our filament last a little bit longer and have a better light bulb. So we've got a candle here, put that in here, and we have to attach a new filament. And what we're going to do with our candle is light it. So a candle requires a couple things to burn. Of course, it needs the fuel, which is the wax that we have in the candle, but it also needs air or oxygen to burn. If we use the jar and we cover our candle, what will end up happening is we won't have any oxygen left. Can you see that the candle flame starts to get a little dimmer?
Yeah.
And then it goes out and we get a nice puff of smoke. So then we know there's no oxygen left inside our jar. And I'll just connect the other clip here. And look, this time it lights up, but it doesn't burn because there's no oxygen inside. Edison tried a whole bunch of different filaments for his light bulbs, but it wasn't until he removed the air and created a vacuum inside that he invented the electric light bulb.
And the rest is history. That was an awesome experiment. Thanks, guys.
Bye. Well, when it comes to lighting up from fire to fish that glow, nature's had it figured out from eons long ago. But when we use our brainy minds to follow nature's lead, we use the things around us to create the light we need. Oh, we made oil lamps and torches, fireworks and candles, lanterns, light bulbs, luminescent lights on our bike handles, neon signs, glow sticks, laser shows and movies, traffic lights, this lightning thing. These flashy shoes are groovy. There's headlamps, pyrotechnics, lit up fair rides, computer screens, holiday lights, lighthouses.
You're gonna make my head explode! Phew! We've harnessed light to do so many amazing and silly things. But I still can't get my own butt to glow like fireflies. No fair! And that brings us back to the question that started off the show. If fireflies glow in the dark, why can't we? The big answer is... we actually do. Well, not enough to see with our eyes. Only just a tiny, tiny amount.
I found out that all living creatures give off a very small amount of light because of the activities of our cells. We humans have never been able to make our own light on purpose, though, the way cave worms and deep-sea fish do. That's because we don't live in constant darkness.
But we were smart enough to figure out how to make the light we need with stuff we found in nature. Which means...
Confession. I love peanut butter and jam sandwiches. Have you ever wondered what I'm wondering? How come, if you put peanut butter on one slice and jam on the other, you open it up, peanut butter and jam are stuck on both slices of bread? Why do they stick together like that? In fact, have you ever wondered what Maya is wondering?
Why is there sticky stuff?
Well, Maya, I don't actually know why there's sticky stuff, but by the end of the show, I'll find out. And wearing this special suit, I will throw myself at the wall, which is made of this special sticky stuff, and see if I stick to it, just like my phone.
Who invented sticky stuff?
I checked, and humans made glue 70,000 years ago.
Just like us, prehistoric people needed glue to help one thing stick to another. Ancient humans discovered that by mixing tree sap with other stuff, they could make a strong glue. Speaking about making glue, here's a question from Noah.
How do you make things stick?
To answer that, he knows all about stuff that sticks. He can glue a duck to a stick. Here's chemical engineer, Phil Scriver.
Hi, Zoe.
Wow, you really can glue a duck to a stick. Will you stick around to help me answer some questions about glue? I was talking to Phil. So, to answer Noam's question, how do you make stuff stick?
The first thing you really have to do is pick the right type of glue. There's a lot of different things in the world that stick, and that's because at a very small level, things aren't really flat. They actually have little branches off them, and those things stick to each other when they come in contact. Do you think that water is very sticky?
I don't think so.
It doesn't seem like it's very sticky, but when you think about getting out of a swimming pool, you have water stuck all over your arms. Let's try it with these discs. Let's put a few drops of water on there. So do we think that's gonna stick to each other?
No.
I'm just holding on to the very top one.
Whoa.
And it's stuck.
That's crazy.
So the water likes to stick to the two plastic discs, but it doesn't stick to itself very well, so it'll slide down. How about some jam?
Sure.
So in jam, you have a lot of sugars in there, and sugar has a lot of different branches on it, and those branches can cling onto things and make it very sticky.
Whoa.
It sticks that way. What about sideways? Do you think it's gonna drop right away?
No.
It's starting to drop a little bit, but it's much stronger than water. Now, can you pull it apart?
Let me see. Yeah.
So it does a good job of sticking to the plastic, but again, it's not sticking to itself very well. And that's really what makes a good glue, is not only does it stick to what you're putting together, but it needs to stick to itself.
Now for some real glue.
It takes about 10 minutes for it to fully dry.
Oh, that's really stuck together. Okay, this is nothing like what happened to the water. This glue sticks to the plastic and to itself. The water stuck to the plastic, but not to itself.
This is a giant Post-it note.
Wow.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the adhesive of one Post-it note, which is here, and we're gonna stick another one to it to see how strong it is. We'll give you some gloves to make sure that you don't get any paper cuts.
Oh, wow, that is hard. Hey!
You see, the paper broke before the glue separated from itself. That shows you how strong it can be.
Phil says the sticky note is full of bubbles, so it's easy to peel off because the bubbles only touch a small area. Join two sticky notes together, and they're still easy to peel off. But if you pull on them, the bubbles get locked together, making the bond super strong. Try it at home. Oh, I ripped the paper again.
But again, if we peel it in the other direction, it comes off.
Wow. Thanks for being on my show and helping me find stuff out.
You're welcome.
I'm sure my viewers were glued to their televisions watching. It's amazing that there are so many types of sticky things. But what's even more amazing is that it wasn't actually people who invented the first sticky thing. Bees make honey, and you know how sticky that is. Frogs, salamanders, and chameleons all have long tongues covered in a layer of mucus. That's sort of like snot. Blech.
Oh.
And I found out that the mucus is sticky, but not sticky enough to actually hold the prey. See? So the tongue takes the shape of a suction pad just before it catches its prey. The sticky mucus helps create a seal so it can catch its prey. Ta-da!
Oh.
But there are other animals that make sticky stuff too. Here's a question from Eli. How come a spider doesn't stick to its web? I checked, and the answer is pretty amazing. Spiders make a glue-like material that's stretchy and sticky. So when a bug flies into the spider's web, it gets stuck and can't escape. But spiders can walk on it quickly because their hairy feet keep them from sticking. Spiders also build resting places without the glue, so they don't get stuck. Smart. But some animals do the opposite. They want to stick to things. I found out that lizards called geckos can stick to walls and even hang upside down because their toes are covered with millions of tiny hairs that use very small electrical forces to stick to almost anything. And now, here's another sticky question.
Why do magnets stick to fridges?
Well, Anea, I checked,
And here's what I found. Magnetism is an invisible force. It's not sticky like glue or honey, but it can make certain things stick to each other, like this. I'm trying out this magnet on different kinds of things. And as you can see, it only sticks to some of them. That's because magnets only stick to things made from the minerals iron, nickel, or cobalt. Let me show you with my Super Zoom-O-Matic. Magnets create an invisible magnetic field around themselves that attracts those minerals. Just like this bucket, a refrigerator is made of metal. And some of the metal is iron. And this invisible magnetic energy field is attracted to iron. And that gives me an idea for...
My Great Challenge! Today's challengers are Bleach from Team Spider.
Hey. Team Spider!
And Coyote, your Team Gecko.
Woohoo! Team Gecko!
Both of you have the same number of mascots.
Some can be small and heavy, others big and light.
Your challenge is to stick your mascots to the wall panels using the magnets on your table. But here's the catch. Some of the small magnets can be stickier than the big ones, and some parts of the walls can respond to magnets more than others. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, go.
Team Spider picks a big magnet and a big spider, and it sticks.
Got it.
Team Gecko sticks a small gecko. Spider doesn't want to stick.
Oh man, it's so hard.
But neither does that gecko. Team Gecko trying a smaller but stronger magnet.
Some of these magnets don't work for the other ones.
That's right. Not every magnet is strong enough to hold up every creature. That one sticks. Good, Gecko.
Team Gecko has 2 right now.
Gecko trying a large magnet. Gets number 3. There's 4. Team Spider gets her second.
You're going down, Belize.
Go, Team Spider! Spider chooses a big magnet, looking for the sticky spot. Yes. Are Gecko's feet sticky? Yes. Team Spider with one that is just too heavy for the magnet she chose. She's trying a smaller but stronger magnet. Small magnet, large spider. That worked. Small magnet, small but heavy gecko. And Spider doesn't want to stick. But Gecko does.
Last one. Done.
Team Gecko, you win.
Woo!
So what was the trickiest part?
Some of the small magnets were really tricky because I thought they would be not as sticky, so I'd put them with the smaller ones, but then they would stick really hard and I wouldn't have any really sticky ones for the big ones and they would all fall.
The hardest part was finding which ones stick with which and where does it go.
Well, challengers, thanks for being on my show. Now here's a question from Noah.
Is it possible to make glue with ordinary stuff?
Do try this at home. My friends Christopher and Alyssa are gonna find out. They're trying a really simple experiment with just 2 ingredients, flour and water. Mix them together and you've got glue, which you can use for paper mache. It's great for making stuff. But now, Sienna and Spencer are gonna make an even stronger glue. First, mix some vinegar and milk together, filter the liquid out, and you're left with curds. Mix in some baking soda and a bit of water, and you get a pretty strong glue.
I think it's ready.
Bye, Zoe. Bye.
It works. Now, here's a sticky question from Anthony.
Is it true that they use glue to make big airplanes?
Glue to make airplanes? I don't know about that. I wonder what other kids think.
Ask a friend.
Glue is not the strongest thing that you could use to build an airplane.
It would just crash, it would break.
It will fall onto the ground. It wouldn't have enough strength.
What if it starts raining? It's gonna get so wet, it's just gonna fall off and the plane's gonna fall apart.
It'll crash and fall, and
that would be a bad experience for a plane.
Guess what? I found out that they do use glue to make airplanes. And not just for toy planes like this one. Real jet airplanes, flying faster than the speed of sound. Thousands of meters in the air. How is that
possible? Head getting warm, brain swirling with synapses as strong as G-forces, starting to come unglued!
You're gonna make my head explode! How is it possible to use glue to make an airplane? To find out how it's possible, I came here to the National Research Council's Flight Research Lab. Hi, Lucy.
Hi, Zoe.
So, what do you do here?
I'm an engineer working on aerospace materials and structures.
Lucy tells me that materials used in airplanes have to be very strong and very light. Why would anyone use glue to make a real airplane?
Take a look at this plane. What do you see here?
I see screws, and what are those bumps called?
Rivets. What do they do?
It looks like they're holding the parts of the plane together.
Yes, they add a lot of weight, and also at the same time, the rivets that are poking out from the surface add a lot of resistance for airplane to move forward.
Lucy tells me that because the rivets stick out, they drag through the air and slow the plane down. So what's this about glue? Why is it better?
Let me show you. Take a look at this airplane. This airplane is made out of composite materials.
So what are composite materials? Lucy says it's fibers held together with glue. Composite materials are really strong and much lighter than metals used in older airplanes. Glue is also used to hold composite parts together in newer planes.
Now, what do you see on the surface of the skin? Nothing. Do you see any rivets?
No. So this airplane is made and held together with glue?
Yes, it's a much lighter structure, and without the rivets, there's less resistance for the airplane to take off and to fly faster.
Airplanes made with glue really won't fall apart?
Let's do some experiments to prove it, but we'll need some help.
Hi! Oh, it's Lucy's son, Alan.
And we're at National Research Council Canada. We make stuff and we break stuff.
It's pretty amazing.
Today, I have a set of experiments to prove glue is strong enough to hold an airplane together. Okay, let's put on safety glasses. Those are the stuff we're gonna use for our experiments today. They're real materials that real airplanes are made out of. And today, we're going to glue those pieces together the way we glue real airplanes together.
This kind of special glue is red, and it comes in sheets packed in white paper. We pull one piece of paper off and put the glue on the part.
Don't worry if it's not perfect, you can always move it a little bit.
Then we take off the other sheet of paper and put the other part on what we want to glue. Then everything goes on this tray, but it's not sticking yet.
Now we're going to cook it.
What is this anyways?
This is called an autoclave. It is the biggest oven you've ever seen.
This oven is gonna make the glue really hard and strong. And this is the machine Lucy uses to test parts. It pulls on them until they break. That's how we can tell how strong something is. Oh, our part's ready to test. Let's try it out.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, we've got the part in the high-tech destruction machine, and we're turning it on.
This one will be different.
Nothing's happening.
Yes. And get ready for action. Hear sound? That means something is possibly something is breaking. Wow! Whoa! Did you hear that?
Still nothing's happening.
Make sure airplanes are super safe. Whoa, look at that.
Mama, something
Look
shooted.
at that.
Something shooted outside. That's so cool.
Yeah, so you see where it broke.
Yeah.
It broke somewhere near the wing.
So the part broke, but the glue didn't?
That's correct. So the glue is strong enough to hold the airplane together.
It shows how strong glue can be. All right, let's see how well glue really holds this plane together. Woohoo! So far, we've seen sticky things that we humans have made on purpose. But we make other sticky stuff, whether we want to or not, as this question from Alessandro points out.
Why is snot sticky? Ew.
The Flat Earth Corner! Ugh, snot! Why it's not sticky? Well, here in ancient Greece, we're not actually sure why yet. But we doctors do know what snot does. It sends vapors to your brain that make you sluggish and lazy.
my peanut butter sandwich. I feel a little bit tired. Ew. Maybe someone mixed snot in the peanut butter. It's so good though.
Nowadays, scientists know that mucus does not create gases that make you tired and go into your brain. It's actually there to protect the sensitive insides of your body from stuff like germs and dust. That's why it's sticky. Things stick to the mucus and don't get in your body. And that gives me an idea for a song. Some people think that snot is icky. There's a reason that it's sticky. 'Cause germs and pollen, sand and dirt should not be up where they cause hurt. So if someone tells you snot is sticky, tell them it's supposed to be sticky. And they might like to think it's gross, but it's not. It's not! It's not! It's not! Boy, what a difference an S makes. Snot! Things that feel sticky aren't the only things that stick, though. Remember those magnets? And what about this sticky stuff?
Why does this stuff stick together?
To help me find out, Julie Berry is here from Velcro Companies, which makes the original hook and loop product that keeps our clothes and shoes on. Welcome.
Thanks, it's great to be here.
So, what are these products and how'd they get invented?
In the 1950s, there was a Swiss inventor named George de Mestral who happened to take his dog for a walk in the woods. And as he was walking his dog, these little burrs started to stick to the dog's fur. And so he pulled them out and noticed that they had these strange hooks on them, and it was the hooks that was grasping the dog's fur, and he had an idea to create a product. These straps are made up of two sides. So you have a very soft, fuzzy side. We call that the loop. And the side that sticks to the loop are hooks. And if you look at them very close under a microscope, you'll see thousands of tiny, tiny hooks that are able to grab the soft part of the product.
I think the time has come for me to try it out. Are you sure this will work?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, then don't try this at home. Here we go. This is incredible! Thanks for being on Finding Stuff Out and making the student wall for me.
Thanks for having me. I hope you had fun.
I had so much fun.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye.
And that takes us back to the question that started this sticky odyssey.
Why is there sticky stuff?
Well, Maya, the big answer is, in order to survive, certain living things use stuff to stick to other stuff. Some animals need sticky stuff so they can catch their prey. Plants have sticky pollen so that insects can carry it and help them reproduce. Our body makes sticky stuff to stop germs and dust from getting inside. And we've invented sticky stuff to do all kinds of jobs. Yeehaw! Wow, this is really sticky. Julie, still there? Mom, Dad, can somebody get me off this wall? Well, there's no point of you sticking around. See you next time for more Finding Stuff Out. Man, I wish I had a peanut butter sandwich. I'm wearing a bandage because I cut myself on a thorn bush when I fell off my skateboard last week. Ah! Ow! The last 2 times I changed my bandage, it really hurt when I pulled it off. It made me wonder the same thing that Adriana was wondering.
Why is there pain?
I don't know why there's pain, but by the end of the show, I'll find out. Meanwhile, I have to change this bandage again. I just hope it doesn't hurt as much as it did last time. On second thought, maybe I'll change it at the end of the show. Now here's a question from Julia.
Why when you get a bee sting, it gets all swollen and it hurts?
To answer that, I believe we should go to the King of Stings, Dr. Justin Schmidt from the University of Arizona.
Dr. Schmidt has been passionate about insects ever since he was a kid. He's been stung more than 1,000 times, all in the name of research. Dr. Schmidt?
Hi, Zoe.
What happened to your face? Is that what happens when you get stung too much?
Well, I tried to learn all about stings.
Professor Schmidt told me that when an insect stings you, it injects venom. And the swelling you get is an allergic reaction. It's your body trying to defend itself.
Bee stings are probably the most painful that you'll run into. Now, if you want to come to Arizona, we can get you some real good stinging insects.
Like what?
Well, right here, we've got some harvester ants. They're just little guys. They hurt for not just 10 minutes like a bee sting does, but they hurt for like 4 hours. Not fun.
They don't sound fun. So what else do you have?
Well, we have some velvet ants. They're not really ants, they're wasps. And they're kind of cool, they squeak. They hurt really intense.
So what did you do to find out which insect stings were the most painful?
Well, in the process of being a biologist, you often make a mistake. Bad idea, because then you get stung. You might as well get some good information out of that, what it feels like, how long it lasts. And that's pretty much how I ended up getting stung by 83 different kinds of stinging insects.
So what did you do after being stung by all those insects?
I realized that this was useful information.
Professor Schmidt told me that he invented a way of measuring pain from a bug sting that's used all over the world. A number 1, like a bee sting, is not too painful and only lasts for a few minutes. But a 4, like a bullet ant sting, super duper hurts and lasts for hours. So why is your research about insect stings useful?
So we're trying to use stings which can cause pain to serve as tools. And we can cause the pain, and then we can try to see if we can block the pain with new medicines that we're making. And that makes all of us happier when we're not in pain.
Thanks, Dr. Schmidt, for helping me find stuff out about insect stings.
You're most welcome. It's been a pleasure talking with you, Zoe.
Bye. Now, here's a question about pain in your brain.
How do you get pain in your brain? Ugh.
The Flat Earth Corner! How do you get pain in your brain? Here in 8000 BCE, doctors like me have solved the mystery. Headaches are caused by evil spirits stuck inside your head. But don't worry, using this state-of-the-art Stone Age technology, we pierced a hole in your skull to let the evil spirits out. Another satisfied customer. Hold still, this only hurts a bit, most of the time. Thousands of years ago, people thought demons and evil spirits caused headaches. In the past, people had strange ideas on what caused headaches and how to cure them. For example, tying a buzzard's head around your neck, or rubbing molasses and cow poop on your temples. Nowadays, we know that headaches aren't caused by demons. Now you tell me? I found out that it's not actually your brain that's hurting. It doesn't have any pain receptors, so it can't feel pain. But other areas in your head do have pain receptors and can feel pain. Now here's a question from Sabrina.
Why does some food burn your tongue?
Bah. Well, Sabrina, he's an expert on food that burn your tongue, and it looks like he has brought me some. Please welcome Lawrence Isaac.
Hi, Zoe. I brought you a present.
But they look like hot peppers.
They are hot peppers. I figured we could try some. I hope they don't burn you too much.
You make it seem so appetizing, but okay. Hey, it didn't burn me.
So why didn't that hot pepper burn?
It's actually because that one was one of the milder peppers. Every pepper's got different heat levels, which is measured in Scoville units. It measures the amount of water you need so that you don't taste the pepper anymore. Different peppers, different amounts of water. So the milder ones take less water to dilute them, and the spicier ones can take up to a swimming pool of water to dilute them.
Cool.
So for example, here I brought some sauces. This one would take, for every milliliter, about 1 liter of water to dilute it completely. That one's called a poblano pepper. It's not too bad, right? No. Now, if it was really spicy, what you would do is you could have either some yogurt, some milk, or some honey, because the fats in the yogurt or the milk cut the feeling of the heat, and the sugar in the honey would cut the feeling of heat too. So the second one I'll make you try is jalapeno. So this one is about 6 times spicier. So instead of 1 liter of water to dilute it, it would be about 6 liters of water. How's that?
Oh, that's spicy!
Do you want some milk?
Yeah. Ah, much better.
So what about the last one?
This one is made with ghost peppers. This is one of the spiciest peppers on Earth. So 1 drop of this would take about 140,000 liters of water to dilute it. It's very, very spicy. You want to try this one?
I'm good. You can try it, though.
Okay, I'll try it. So right now, my mouth is watering. I feel like I'm going to start sweating a little bit. Compared to the first one you tried, we're talking a lot more intense.
So why are peppers hot?
Because they don't want to be eaten. They have capsaicin in it, which is a chemical that fools our body into thinking it's hot. So they've developed this way of protecting themselves in nature from animals.
Well, it didn't really work because we still eat them.
That's true. Basically, what we've done is we've learned to adapt to it so we can handle the heat. And we even add it to our cooking, and it makes our cooking a little more fun.
Well, thanks for being on my show, Lawrence, and helping me find stuff out about how some foods hurt your tongue.
Thanks for having me, Zoe.
Why do some people feel pain more than other people?
To answer that, I came here to the Shriners Hospital for Children Canada with my older brother, Jaden. Hey, everybody! He's agreed to be embarrassed by letting everyone see that I can stand more pain than him.
No way.
Well, I guess we just have to find that stuff out, won't we?
Hi, kids.
Hi! This is Dr. Catherine Ferland. So, can you tell everybody what you do here?
I help physicians, surgeons, and anesthesiologists to minimize the pain experience of children undergoing surgery.
How do doctors reduce pain?
So we treat patients with medicine.
Dr. Ferland told me that to find out how much medicine to give kids, they do a test to see how sensitive each one is to pain. And we're about to take the pain test.
Are you ready?
I'm gonna beat you.
No, you aren't.
My pain tolerance is way higher than yours.
No, it isn't.
You go first.
No, you go first.
No, you go first.
So we will start with a test to identify your pain threshold to heat sensation. This is a probe that generates heat. Okay, nothing to burn you. Don't worry about it. Touch it.
Warm.
It's getting
Yeah,
warm.
it is warm.
Yes. So you will feel it. The temperature will rise.
Yep.
And then you will start to feel pain. And then you will start to feel like you
More
can...
pain.
Yes, more pain. And then you will arrive to your tolerance threshold.
Yeah.
And then you say stop, and the test will end. Okay, so Jaden, you will have to leave the room.
Okay. Have fun,
Bye.
Zoe.
Thanks.
I'm still gonna beat you.
Okay, we'll see you.
So this is the pain scale, so from 0 to 10.
The temperature will get higher and higher. The one who can stand the highest temperature wins this part of the test. When I push the pain scale to 10, that means I can't take it anymore.
So it's starting.
Yeah, I can feel it's warm. Starting to feel a little pain. Dr. Ferland told me that because pain is different for everyone, doctors need to know how much pain you can take to know what kind of medicine to give. They don't want to take all the pain away because not feeling any would be dangerous. For example, if you have a broken leg and don't feel it, you can make it worse by moving it too much. Like, it hurts a little bit, but I'm still not at, like, 10. Almost at 10. Okay, I can't really stand it anymore.
Okay, we're done.
44 degrees was the most pain I could take.
That's what Jaden will have to beat.
Okay, so now, Zoe, we will measure your tolerance to cold.
Ooh, is it cold? In this test, I have to keep my arm in icy cold water for 2 minutes.
How do you feel?
I would say maybe a 5.
5 on 10, okay.
I'm supposed to say how much pain I'm feeling using a number between 1 and 10.
How do you feel now?
Maybe an 8.
Oh, it's getting more painful.
It's pretty cold.
Whoever ends up with the lower number felt less pain and wins this part of the test.
And now?
Maybe a 10.
And we stop the test. Okay, so it was painful.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, Jaden. Ow! I haven't turned it on yet. You ready?
Ready.
Okay, let's start it.
Okay. It's getting warmer, and it's getting warmer. Oh, it's starting to hurt a little bit. It's about a 6. Whoa. Oh, that's too hot. Completely stop.
Wanna stop?
Yep. Oh, it's so cool how it just stops like that.
Let's do it.
Whoa.
So how do you feel from 0 to 10?
4. It's so cold. I feel like I'm in Antarctica.
And now?
5.
So it's increasing, the pain is increasing. Again?
I think I would say 7. It's like...
Okay, the test has ended.
That was pretty awesome. I won because I'm the greatest, right?
I mean, you're the best, but I'm better than the best.
Only one best can be the best. Okay.
Hi, so I have the results.
Okay.
Ready for this?
Bring it on.
So for the warmth test, Zoe had the highest pain tolerance.
Okay.
Jaden's pain tolerance is at 39 degrees, and mine is at 44 degrees.
For the cold test,
I aced that one.
You did.
Jaden said his pain from the ice water was only 7, but I felt like mine was a 10.
So you have differences in your threshold, meaning that different types of pain, you react differently.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, Dr. Freeland, thanks for being on my show and helping me find stuff out about pain, especially that I can take more than my brother can.
Actually, it was a tie, but whatever.
Why do small boo-boos hurt more than big ones?
The cut on my finger from the thorn bush when I fell off my skateboard hurt way more than the part when I landed on my butt, even though my finger's a lot smaller. How come? This calls for an experiment. The experiment! Emma is blindfolding Marco to demonstrate that some parts of our body are more sensitive than others.
So how many points are there?
2.
Marco has to guess how many skewer tips are poking him.
How many points are there now?
1.
How many?
2.
Now they'll try the same touch test on a different part of the body.
How many do you feel?
2.
Now how many do you feel?
1.
Now how many do you feel?
1.
It's 2. How many do you feel?
2.
It's just 1.
Okay, now the shoulder.
1.
Nope, there are 2.
Check out this funny picture of a human. It's meant to show where we feel things the most. The bigger body parts are the most sensitive, like our lips, tongue, and our hands. That's why Marco could feel the points pushing more easily on his finger than on his foot or his arm. Uh-oh, do try this at home.
When you get hurt, do you ever have the urge to rub the part that hurts?
I found out that rubbing where you were hurt really does reduce how much pain you feel. If you get your fingers slammed in a door, shaking your hand also helps. All this rubbing and shaking activates nerves that help block pain. Just don't smash your hand when you're shaking it around. Ow!
Oh,
all this pain relief gives me an idea for
My Great Challenge! I'm Dr. Zoe, and today on My Great Challenge, I have two challengers, Gamu. Hi. And Emanuela.
Hi.
So today's challenge is about pain. Gamu, what was the most painful thing you experienced?
I was skateboarding and then I slipped and banged my head.
Emanuela?
I was walking and I missed a step and fell in my pool.
You guys really have big experience with pain. But your job here is to help your patients avoid pain. So I'm gonna ask you some multiple choice questions and you'll have to answer with A, B, or C. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, Gamu. Your patient has a terrible migraine headache. Do you A, drill a hole in their head to let the evil spirits out? B, have them brush their hair with an electric hairbrush to relieve pain with magnetism? Or C, give them headache relief medicine?
C.
I feel better. You're right. Yes. Your turn, Emanuela. So your patient has fallen off their scooter and bruised their butt. How do you lessen the pain? A, with heat, B, with an ice pack, or C, with some really funny knock-knock jokes?
B.
I feel better. You're right. Question 3. Your patient pulled a muscle while playing leapfrog. How do you lessen their pain? A, with heat, B, with an ice pack, or C, treat the area with snake oil?
B.
Ow. Sorry, Gamu. It's wrong. Okay, Emanuela.
A.
I feel better. You're right. Heat is better than cold to soothe sore muscles, while cold helps injuries like scrapes and bruises. Okay, Emanuela, your patient has banged their hip walking through a doorway. Should they A, gentle rub it, B, apply leeches to the area, or C, hang a buzzard's head around their neck?
B.
Apply leeches to the area?
Ow.
Sorry, that's wrong. Gamu?
A.
Gently rub it? I feel better. That's correct. So you both have 2 points. So this last question is the tiebreaker. So Manuela, your patient has been stung by a jellyfish. Do you relieve their pain by A, washing the area with salty seawater, B, putting fresh water on it, or C, putting calamine lotion on it?
C.
Ow. Sorry, that's wrong. Okay, Gamu, this is your chance to win.
A.
Washing the area with salty water? I feel better. That's correct. You win the game. High five. Washing the area with salty seawater actually deactivates the stinging cells. But if you put fresh water on it, it actually makes it worse. Hopefully it wasn't too painful of an experience. Thanks for being on my show.
You're welcome.
I asked some of you guys what your most painful experience was. Here's what you said.
Ask a friend. I was on the beach and I jumped off a lifeguard stand and I broke my arm.
Ow!
I had never felt so much pain in my whole entire life.
I was skateboarding and I went flying and I hit the side of my head.
Ow, what a headache. I went skating with my family and I tripped on my dad and his skate went through my hand.
Oh.
I fell down the escalator.
Ow!
The really sharp things went in my skin and the ambulance came. It really hurt.
I feel pain just hearing about it. And that leads us back to the question that inspired my show.
Why is there pain?
The big answer is... You know, I'm going to answer your question with a song.
When suddenly you're feeling pain, it's 'cause nerves send signals to your brain. Saying something sharp, cold or prickly. If you stick around, you'll end up sickly. Stings or scrapes, burns or bites. Your nerves tell your brain so you can't take flight. You might wish you didn't feel those things in your brain, but you need to get a warning, and that's why there's pain. Yes, you need to get a warning, and that's why there's pain. And that's why there's pain.
Pain is our body's way of warning us that something is dangerous or bad for us. Like if we touch something too sharp, or too hot, or even too cold. It also warns us if we're sick, like if we get a sore throat. So we know to get help from a doctor and slow down to let our bodies heal. Speaking of that, I'm ready to take off this bandage. I just hope it doesn't hurt like the last 2 times I changed it. Hey, it didn't hurt. My cut's healed. Now I don't feel pain in those pain receptors.
Glad to hear it, Zoe.
Thanks. And thanks for watching my show. I can't believe that didn't hurt a bit. Ow, my knee! Welcome to Finding Stuff Out. I'm on a trampoline with a popsicle and earmuffs because of some questions I got. Starting with this one. Sorry, it's just a bit tricky to get my remote without dropping my popsicle.
Is there anything left to discover or invent?
I don't know, but by the end of the show, I'll find out. Meanwhile, I wish there was an invention that could keep me from dropping my popsicle while I click my remote, because I have another question. Not again.
You know, I'd like to invent something one day. Do kids invent things?
Yes, kids do invent things. And that's why I'm jumping on a trampoline with earmuffs and popsicles. Because all 3 of those things were invented by kids. I found out that 15-year-old Chester Greenwood invented earmuffs in 1870 because his ears got cold when he went skating. Frank Epperson was only 11 when he invented popsicles. George Nissen was a teenager when he invented the trampoline, which he later taught a kangaroo to jump on with him. Jumping with a kangaroo wasn't an invention or a discovery, but it was pretty cool. And kids invented other amazing things too. Like glow-in-the-dark paper, braille that allows blind people to read, an invention that would later become a TV, or a flashlight that turns body heat into light. No batteries required. Okay. Maybe I can invent a hands-free way to hold my popsicle on the trampoline. Maybe not. But kids do invent stuff all the time, and we're going to meet some of them right now and see what their inventions are. This is a huge science fair. 500 kids who love science are here to show off their ideas, experiments, and inventions. And I'm gonna meet some of them right now. Hi, Dylan. So what's your invention?
My project's about generating power from the sun without using solar panels. The way I'm doing this is using mirrors, so the sun is hitting these mirrors, reflecting back, and creating a superheated spot.
That's hot.
My dish needs to be facing the sun at all times, so I developed my own active tracking software.
Cool, but this needs to be bigger, right?
Yes, my plan is to make a very large version. I have a 3-meter dish and a 14-foot arch on top of my roof, and hopefully heat my hot water tank, my house, and power my lights.
Wow, free energy.
Exactly, free energy. This is my passion, and it feels amazing.
It is amazing. Good luck. Our next inventor made something that doesn't use the sun, but it definitely is out of this world. Hi.
Hi, Zoe. My name is Eunyoung Kim, and I invented a glove that's for astronauts to use on Mars.
Whoa.
Since Mars is so dusty, my glove helps astronauts pick up their tools because basically they're blind on Mars. So there's sensors built into this glove, and when the sensors get close to an object, it sends signals to this small computer that makes the glove vibrate.
Do you think NASA will want to use your invention?
Yes, I think it's a good opportunity for NASA to use this glove when they go to Mars.
Woohoo! Let's hope they do. Now here's an invention that you definitely don't need gloves to use. Hi.
My name is Deho Daniel Sky. I'm from a First Nations community called Gahnawage, and my project is the door pedal. The door pedal allows you to open up your door using your foot instead of your hands.
Cool, but who uses it?
I went to my local hospital and I allowed a nurse to try it out because there's lots of germs in the hospital. She said it was very sanitary because she doesn't have to touch the door handle anymore. And also at my grandmother's convenience store. So now when she's bringing big, heavy things into her store, she can now just open it with her foot. This should open doors for me.
Talk about using your head and your feet. And here's Tamid. He invented a wheel that can adjust to any road condition.
You can see that the wheel is a complete circle right now. You can see it changes into something very, very spiky.
I spent many weeks, months on the computer screen trying to get my parts to fit together, and when it finally did, when the wheel was finally able to turn and also change shape, it felt great. Woo! This really works well in sand, in snow, in mud, but then when you come back to a highway, you're able to press the button again and get it back to a circle.
Well, that's like reinventing the wheel. Thanks. Now here are two people who also took a really old invention and made it into something new and amazing. Hi.
Jenna and Elijah are Inuit and live in the far north in Saluit, Nunavut.
That's Hullik Inuit oil lamp.
They worked out a way to use the heat of a traditional oil lamp and make electricity to charge a cell phone.
Heat from Hullik, it make electricity so you can charge when you're camping.
So you never run out of power. Cool. That's a lot of inventions. But what about discoveries?
Here's a question from Michael.
What is the difference between a discovery and an invention?
Yeah.
What's the difference? That's what I asked some of my friends.
Ask a friend.
An invention is something that you make, and a discovery is when you find something, but it's already made by nature.
A discovery is when you find something new, and an invention is when you make something new.
Well, I checked, and I found out you guys are right. Now,
speaking of discoveries, here's a question from Daniel.
What does eureka mean?
Well, Daniel, when I was trying to find out what eureka means, I found this great story. So
I made this animation.
Archimedes was an ancient Greek mathematician, philosopher, engineer, astronomer, and inventor. Fortunately, despite being very busy, rumor has it he still took a bath regularly. The story is he discovered the principle of displacement when he noticed how the water level rose when he lowered his body into it. When he realized his discovery, he shouted out, "Eureka!" which is the ancient Greek word for "I have found it." Archimedes also discovered that stuff that's less dense than water, like gases for instance, float to the surface instead of sinking to the bottom. We don't know how he discovered that, but you never know. Eureka!
Speaking of Eureka, I had an idea to put bouncy springs on my popsicle, so while I'm on the trampoline, it can bounce along with me.
Oh no.
If I can't invent a way, maybe I'll discover one eventually. I have discovered that kids have discovered a lot of cool things.
When she was 10, Catherine Gray discovered a supernova. That's an exploded star. And Catherine is a bit of a star herself because she's the youngest person to ever discover a supernova. 15-year-old Tom Wagg discovered his own planet. And 15-year-old Willem Gattery may have discovered a lost Mayan city by using star maps. And lots of kids have discovered ancient fossils.
Hey, cool! A dinosaur fossil. Here's a question from Mateus.
Who found the first fossils of a dinosaur?
Flat Earth Corner!
I wish I could find something really valuable down here, like gold. Hey, that's odd. There's something there. Forsooth, I found the bones of a dragon. Hey, I wonder if these bones would taste good in soup. I could be the first kid to invent dragon soup. People who found the first dinosaur fossils thought they were the bones of dragons.
I guess dinosaurs do sort of look like dragons, but it took a while for people to realize what they'd found. And it took a while for the grand prize winner of the science fair to discover a treatment that might help some people feel better.
Hi Zoe, my name is Melissa, and I was able to make a discovery in many patients that had a type of cancer, lymphoma, so it's a cancer of the blood cells.
they're usually treated with something called chemotherapy. Then the cancer patient usually starts to feel really bad because that treatment kills your good and bad cells all at the same time. I wanted to develop a new method to help cancer patients so that they wouldn't become so weak.
Wow. What inspired you to do that?
I have an uncle who has cancer. I also have many friends who are related to other people who also have cancer. So it affects many people, and I wanted to do something that would help a lot of people. I still have a lot more research to do, and hopefully one day be able to really make this treatment available for everybody.
Good luck. Thanks, Melissa. Now I'm going to meet some inventors who also had a very personal reason for making their inventions.
This is Samantha Gray and Tegan Kit. They also wanted to invent something that would help people. Wow, this isn't like any other boot I've ever seen before.
We were inspired to invent it by one of our friends who is almost always getting hurt. She has a lot of accidents.
She fell off a trampoline once.
She fell off her bike.
And a fence.
So I'm guessing this boot doesn't prevent injuries. What does it do?
Our friend was always getting cast, and when she was going out in the rain, it would always get wet, so we wanted to make a boot so she didn't have to get her cast wet.
And the whole cast can fit inside, and it just does up.
To try it out, I put on some extra heavy socks so it'd be like I have a cast.
Now you can put the boot on and see how it works.
Cool, no laces.
How does it feel?
It's comfy. I could see how this could hold a cast. Ta-da!
In the beginning, our invention was going to be on a shoe, but the shape wasn't right. So we picked a boot.
And when we were making the boot, some of the glue wasn't strong enough, so we had to get new glue. And
first, when we were doing it, we used magnets like this on one side and washers on the other side, but it wasn't strong enough. So
we decided to use
magnets on both sides.
Okay, now I'm going to put your boot to the test. So my foot won't get soaked?
Not a chance.
Definitely not.
Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit more daring. Hey, my foot isn't wet. That's awesome.
It's actually meant for puddles, but it works in the shallow end.
What's next for you inventors?
We would like to add some reflectors to the boot to make it more safe at night.
And add some cool designs to make it more fashionable. And we also have come up with a logo.
Puddle jumpers. Awesome.
So Samantha and Tegan were inspired by trying to keep things dry. Now here's an invention created by someone who wanted to make sure people could get wet when they need to. Rachel Brower won medals at 2 science fairs, including a gold medal for her very watery invention. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Zoe.
So what did you invent?
So this is a water pasteurization system for third world countries. It removes the bacteria and impurities from water, making it safe to drink.
What inspired you to make this?
So a couple years ago, when I was 11, my family went hiking in New Hampshire. We saw the lakes and the rivers, but then we saw the contaminated do not drink signs. And at the same time, I was reading the I'm Malala book. And in this book, many women and girls are dying from the cholera outbreak. So I put the two things together and I decided I wanted to make a difference.
Cool, so how does it work?
So first the water is pumped from a water hole or lake, and then it runs through this basic cotton and charcoal filter system. Once it runs through this system, the 2-liter bottles are filled up, and then you would remove them from the system.
What did you find difficult?
So though the system removes the impurities, I found that bacteria is also found in water. That's when I designed this novel color-changing wax indicator. So once your 2-liter bottles are removed from the system, you'd place this inside and then place your bottles on a piece of corrugated tin roof. The sun will heat the water to 40 degrees Celsius, and this blue wax will change from dark blue to light pink, indicating that the water's heating up. Then once that water reaches 60 degrees Celsius, this will melt and run into the second vial, indicating that the water is safe to drink.
Wow, that's awesome. So what's next?
And this summer, my system will be tested in Kenya and Pakistan.
Do you have a message for kids who'd like to invent stuff?
Find something you're passionate about, and just because you're a kid doesn't mean that you can't make a difference.
Thanks for being on my show and showing us your invention. Now here's a question from Yasmina.
discoveries and inventions are there in this world?
How many inventions and discoveries are there? Let's see. Electricity, fire, air conditioning, toilet paper, the printing press, vaccines, head getting warm, refrigeration to keep heads from getting warm, eyeglasses, internet, jet engines, airplanes, helicopters, rockets, compasses, calendars, cars, radios, cranium getting hot, brain starting to overload, pasteurization, telephones, boats, motors, cars, radio, cranium getting hot, DVDs, drones, food chains, synapses firing like a laser. Oh no! Ah!
You're gonna make my head explode!
The truth is, nobody really knows how many inventions and discoveries there are, because there have been so many throughout history. And this gives me an idea for a song. Inventions and discoveries, doing something new. They help us do things that we wanna do. Like dreaming up a robot to help us clean our room. Create a kind of rocket to take us to the moon. Energy from the sun, non-polluting cars. Gloves that help you find your tools on Mars. Inventing and discovery, it's doing something new. Inventing and discovering will open doors for you. Inventing and discovering will open doors for you. Inventing and discovering will open doors for you.
My Great Challenge!
Today's challengers are Anjali and Logan versus Stefano and Sasha.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you some weird inventions, and both teams have to guess what they are.
If neither team gets the answer, you get a clue.
The team that gets the most correct answers wins. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, you girls are gonna go first. Okay.
I think it's like for the baby to go inside. And
babies are bigger than this.
So, like the new.
We're going for hammock,
I guess.
Okay.
A hammock?
Yeah.
Sorry, girls, that's wrong. Boys, your turn.
Don't see it. Oh, nice cat.
A bag of litter for cats.
Sorry, guys, that's not it. Okay, you guys get the clue now.
Cat bed.
Yeah.
You guys were right. It's a bed for cats.
Yes.
What is it?
Cheese shredder or
something shredder.
Yeah, it's like a shredder. Yeah, it comes out from here.
Yeah. Is it like a shredder?
Sorry, guys, you're wrong.
So I think it's something that you could put like a fruit or something inside.
A fruit cutter, let's say.
A cutter? Sorry, guys, that's wrong as well. So you guys now get the clue.
A juicer.
Yeah, you guys are right.
Yeah.
You put the lemon in, and you squish it, it comes out. You hear that?
Yeah, I hear it.
Let's see how much juice it made.
You spilled some.
What is it?
Has to be like a decoration for something.
I don't think so.
It's something that we
Used to clean a toilet or something? A drain?
Sorry, girls, that's wrong. Okay, you guys go.
But could it be a decoration? Because this could be the hair. This is another McFly. No, why would it be a doll? But can't you see? Does this look like a doll's hair? Eyes.
Okay, guys, I need an answer.
A decoration.
Decoration? Sorry, guys, that's also wrong. Okay, now you guys get the clue.
Oh, it's a potato smasher?
You guys are right. When it's baked, you mash it.
Oh, I know what it is. It's like one of these old-fashioned bells. Hold on.
I don't think it's a bell.
Yes,
Because there's no like ball inside.
You put the ball inside.
I need a final answer.
What did I say?
A bell?
Sorry, guys. That's wrong.
Sorry, turn. Is it to take out a core of an apple?
Nope. You guys get the clue.
Maybe a lighter?
No, impossible because there's no fire thingamajig.
Yeah, but you could put something in.
A lighter for candles?
Sorry, girls, it's not it.
Oh, maybe not. Is it to take out the light?
Yeah, you guys are right.
Yes! You use this to put out a candle without burning your fingers.
All right.
Okay, both teams have 2 points.
So this is the tiebreaker. What is it?
A measuring magnet?
A measuring magnet? Sorry, girls, that isn't it.
There's circles on it. Could
it be a tracer?
Is it a tracer?
Sorry, guys, that's not a tracer. So you guys now get the clue.
Oh my, it's the whole
Is it like to measure the pasta?
You guys are right, it wins! Yes! What you do is you put it in, and that's how you measure it for 3 people.
That's cool, I need that at home.
Well, thanks for being on my show and helping me find stuff out. Now, time to answer the question that inspired my show today.
Is there anything left to discover or invent?
The big answer is... Well, Anthony, to answer your question, I've decided to ask someone who's gone all the way to space to discover things. Astronaut Chris Hadfield. Chris, thanks for being on my show. So, do you have an answer to Anthony's question? Is there anything left to invent or discover?
Zoe, we have no idea what we're doing. We are just getting started. We don't know what 94% of the universe is even made of. We are just infants. There are so many problems that we need to solve, and we're counting on scientists and engineers and bright young people like you and like people right across the country and around the world to solve those problems. So there's a whole world of things to discover and learn from and improve the quality of life with.
Thanks, Chris. Well, that's my show for today. By the way, notice anything different? I finally invented a popsicle holder that lets me use my remote and take my earmuffs off. See you next time for more Finding Stuff Out.